industry is all about. And also, for those of us here who are thinking of getting into the field of IT, it's not a must that you may have been in IT before. In fact, this session is actually more for people who have never been in IT before, or who have just been using technology in a very minimal way. So that's the idea for this webinar. But if you've been in IT, if you've been using it before, um, you're still in the right place, because you might get some information that it's going to really help you maybe take a decision on how to move your career forward, or how to learn something new, or basically just something that will improve, that will use to improve yourself. So that's the idea behind all this. And I want to welcome all of you. My tradition is to welcome people one by one with their names. I hope you guys don't mind. I see Victor. Victor, you're welcome. I see God's will. God's will, you're welcome. I see Hope. Hope, you're welcome. The only lady here yet. I see Nana. Nana, you're welcome. I see Sunday Eze. Sunday, you're welcome. So I want to assure you guys that whatever information you get here, I believe is going to help you to understand a bit more about tech, about IT, and also if you're planning on really leveraging on technology or IT or your IT skills to move forward this year, then this is the right place for you to be. So I'm going to share my screen. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen. Just trying to do that. Please, if you can hear me, kindly confirm in the chat, or you can just say something. Let me be sure that everybody's hearing, please. Oh, cool. Victor says you can hear me. All right. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, just trying to get the slide up now. All right. So as we proceed, I would like to know, just maybe you can just drop down in the chat what you've been doing. Have you been in the IT field? Because I also like this to be an interactive one, so that I can get better understanding of the people I'm actually talking to. That will also help us to get the best out of it. So if you can please just in the chat just say what you are currently doing, or maybe what field you're in. I just want to have an idea of what of the people I have here. Please, I'll please beg you guys, kindly just drop your message, your responses there, because it's really going to help us in this session today. All right, I'm waiting for the responses. Just what you're doing, the field you're into. Are you into IT? Yes or no, or whatever field. Just one word, one sentence is enough. You can also talk. You can also speak. You're welcome to still unmute yourself, and please, you're welcome to speak if you choose to. It will also be great to hear from somebody. All right, so I don't want to believe I'm talking to some AI, right? All right. the responses, I'm still waiting. Let me give 30 more seconds to that. You can just drop your responses. I don't know if you guys can. Okay, Godsu says a product designer. Oh, cool. That's great. That's great. That's great. That's great. A few more people, maybe one or two more, then we'll continue. One or two more people, then we can
All right.
continue.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Hope, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi. Okay. For me, though, I'm not yet in the tech space, though I am
Okay.
planning to transition into the tech space. So currently now, I'm planning to course on data analytics. So I
All right.
am not in it yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. That's cool. So you just started off the course, or have you been in it for a while?
I just started, funny enough. I started last week, so I'm still new to the game.
Wow. Okay. That's good. It's the spirit for the year. So that you start
Right?
off
Yeah.
the year with the zeal to learn something new. That's very good. Thank you for
Yeah.
your response. Thank you. Okay, Victor. I'm into cybersecurity. Ah, Victor. Yeah, Victor is actually one of my students in last year in one of my courses. Yeah, Victor. Victor, I know you now. I know you. I know what you can do. Thank you for that, Victor. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna share the slide finally now. Just a brief slide. It's not supposed to take much time. Okay. Please, can you confirm if you can see the slide? Can you see the slide? Anybody?
Yes, I can.
All right, that's great. So I'm believing the other people as well can see. Okay, Sunday says yeah, I'm into cybersecurity. Wow. I have cybersecurity guys here today. That makes me very excited. Okay, Nana says I'm a mechanical engineer with masters in sustainable energy. Wow, that's huge. That's huge. So what we're going to do today for you, Nana, is to, give you an idea of what how tech can be leveraged in your areas. We just give you an overview of how it can be leveraged in your area. So these are just little reminders. You can turn off your camera as the course is on, as the presenter is presenting. We would like you to turn off your camera and your mic. Um, you can feel free to type your questions as the course is, as the presentation is going on. And then definitely there will be Q&A at the end. Q&A you can do by voice or you can type messages in the chat. Either way, you're very welcome to do that. So that's just a little ground rule. All right, so what we're going to cover, I hope the font are not too tiny though. Okay, I think they are still visible. I try to make the background bright so that it doesn't look too dim. Okay, so what we're going to cover, we're going to just have a little introduction to the tech world. I'm going to talk about just a few things about the tech world, opportunities in the tech industry, um, transitional skills, which is majorly why we're here, to know about how you can transition if you're not already there. Like Hope, who is getting into the IT industry. She may learn a thing or two about how she can transition into the tech industry and remain there and become very successful there. Then we're going to look at learning pathways. So, basically, how do you get started? I'm going to talk about some of the ways you can get started. The slide doesn't have so much information, so I would suggest you listen and just pick some of the slides, some of the points in the slides. Then, like I said, there will be Q&A at the end. So you can, like I said before, drop your messages in the chat as they come. I'll look at them before we conclude for the day. So that's what we have today. So a little bit about myself. My name is Ikechukwu Nwosu. You can call me IK. I'm an IT consultant. I'm also a digital transformation strategist. It sounds like a big name, but a big title. But what it basically means is someone who uses technology to bring about transformation. Transformation, it could be transformation in an organization, transformation for systems and processes. So any form of digital transformation, that's majorly one of the things I'm also into. So I'm a lead consultant with my own company. We are still growing. And then I'm also creator and convener of the Tech Talk series. So I have a YouTube channel called the Tech Talk series. Just started last year. So I'm trying to also grow it. It's majorly about tech. I'm going to share the handle as we towards the end. So you can visit, view stuffs, like, share, and also subscribe whenever you can. So I have over 10 years experience in the digital technology consulting space, and more than 15 years, it's actually way more than 15 years though, in IT industry. So that's a little bit about myself. Unfortunately, I don't play football. I used to play basketball back in the days, but you know, a couple of things made me, one of those things. Yeah, but I like tech, I like gadgets, I like intellectual stuff. That's majorly what I'm all about. And I also like to chill out, have a laugh, and we can go from there. So that's a little bit about myself. So I can move on. So tech, you see the exclamation mark there, tech. Why I put the exclamation mark is a lot of people, from my experience, a lot of people, once they hear tech, it's as if their heart skips. Like they just feel like, what is this magical thing that everybody seems to be talking about these days? Like they, in their mind, they feel they cannot relate. It's never something that they can deal with, you know. So I meet a lot of such people. Whenever something has to do with using the computer or doing something with a digital device, they tend to just run away. They get scared. They get scared, you know. But forgetting that a lot of the things that they do in their day-to-day activities are still driven by technology in today's world. That person that is scared about tech, if you look at their hand, they have a mobile phone. That mobile phone is driven by what? Technology. It's driven by some components, some technological components that make them to view their whatever they are doing on their phone. So today, everybody literally has a technology device in their hand in the form of their mobile phone. But the problem is, how do you now leverage that device you have in your hand? How do you leverage that technology you have that you don't even know that you have? So, what is tech all about? The big question is it a need in today's world? Is it a need, or is it just an option? You can do without it. That is the big question. There may be various answers, like I said, it's going to be interactive. If you feel tech is a need, let us know in the chat. If you feel it's an option, let us know in the chat. Let me know the people that will, choose need as opposed option. Please, let's do that quickly. Let's have an idea. Is tech a need or is it an option to you? Is it something that you can't do without, something that's so compulsory for you in your day-to-day activity, or is it an option? Let's have that in the chat. Just if you're for need, just type need. If you're for option, just type option. Okay. Sunday says tech is a need for me. I don't think it's an option. Okay. All right. Let's have one or two more responses. Okay. Nana says need. Okay. Need is leading. Need is leading. Any other person? One more. Let's move on. God will say definitely a need. I agree with you, my brother. It's definitely a need, though. You know. So for me, I would say that it's a need. In fact, some people might even say that it's compulsory, like it's something they cannot do without. So tech means your mobile phone, your laptop or your desktop or whatever you're using. If you have a tablet, that's a tech device. If you have a smart TV, that's a tech device. That smartwatch you're wearing in your hand is a tech device. So anything that improves your productivity or makes processes that used to be manual that now makes it more efficient and more automated is a technology-based device. That is what tech does. So tech is not just hardware. I must say that tech is not just the physical device you touch. Tech can be a system that is in form of a software, like a non-tangible device running inside a computer. That's still a tech system. It's just that it's not a physical system. So when we talk about tech, we mean anything that helps you to improve your productivity or make what you're doing more efficient, easier, and more automated. That's what technology is. That's what it does for you. Now, I bring it down to our area, which we are trying to talk about, which is IT, information technology. So, information technology is where you now use those devices to process information, to deal with, to harness data, to process it, and to do all sorts of stuff with it. So that's information technology, which I said earlier that that's where we are going to be. So today, tech is the engine room of today's world. We wouldn't have been able to do much these days without it, like I said. So how do you now get yourself into tech as something you want to do? You can't just say, I'm in tech, I do tech, or I'm a tech person. The only way you can leverage tech is to know how to use technology to become productive, to become more efficient, to get the results you want. So that is where your skills in tech comes into play. So you need tech skills, what we call tech skills, or what we call IT skills. That's where it comes into play. So these are very, very precious assets everyone needs to have to successfully navigate today's process-driven society. Our society today is all about systems and processes that just keep running and running and running and running. And if you don't have a way to make it more efficient for you, it may not give you the results you want. So that is what tech skills help you to do. It helps you to leverage in an area in tech, know it to the point where you can use it to become efficient in your work, in your studies, in your day-to-day activities. So the question I want to throw to us today is, where do you stand in regards to tech? As of today, where do you stand? That's why I asked the question earlier. Just give me an idea of where you are in terms of tech currently, in terms of your access to tech or what you do with it. And I like the responses I got. A lot of you guys have really shown that you've been using technology in one form or the other in one form or the other. So I believe that's where you guys stand, that you're embracing technology, and we are in the right place today. So, importance of tech skills in today's professional landscape. What is the importance of tech skills? You can see some of the things that tech skills can help you to accomplish, can make you become adaptable. Things are changing quite fast. The world is evolving so fast that if you're not able to keep up with what's going on in the world, you'll be left behind. This is on a second by second basis. New things are coming out. The old ones are being pushed aside. So you need to keep, abreast of what's going on, and also improve yourself so that you can adapt to any situation you find yourself, either in your workplace, either in your personal life, or whatever it is. As long as technology has a way of coming into that space in your life, you need to know how to be adaptable to the changes that may be coming. So productivity, tech skills help you to be productive. If you're already in tech, for example, if you use it at work, if you use computers at work, if you use some of these Microsoft Office applications like your Word, your PowerPoint, your Excel, the reason why you're using it is because you are required to be productive at work. So your workplace made available that computer you're using, install the softwares there so that you can be productive and use them to, bring more money for the company in your day-to-day work. So that's where productivity comes in. On a personal basis, individual basis, if you have a goal, something you're trying to accomplish in your house, you're working on something, that technology device you're using, that skill in technology that you're using in that device is making you productive. So tech skills help you to be productive. Then creativity, in terms of creativity, it helps you to be creative. Creative is not just about doing the graphic stuff. Creative can also be about, how are you actually doing the task you're doing? Even if it's at work, how are you doing it? Are you doing it in an easier way that will make it more faster for you to get more results and eventually become more productive? So that's creativity. So tech helps you to be creative to that extent. Problem solving. We have a lot of problems we are solving in the world today. If you're working, for example, your company definitely has a problem it's solving in the society, in the economy, one way or the other. There's a service they are providing, which indirectly or directly is solving a problem for their customers. So problem solving, tech skills help you to solve problems. If you have tech knowledge, like Hope, who says she's learning data analytics, the reason why she's learning it may be to know how to manipulate data to get more information out of data. So if you're working in an organization where you deal with a lot of data, and Hope is working there, and she has this skill, this skill of data analytics, that means she's valuable to the company in helping them solve problems that they have when it comes to data. So that is what problem solving skills help you to do, or what tech skills can help to do in the current landscape we're in. Career prospects, that's one of the most important aspects of this. A lot of us want to, get a job, or we're already working but want to progress in our work. If you keep improving your tech skills in whatever area that you feel you're interested in, if you keep improving your tech skills, there's every possibility that you become you rise in your organization, you become better paid, and probably even get better opportunities. So that's what tech skills help you to do. Convenient, like I said, it makes you to do things easier. You can easily do stuff, and improve productivity. Then connectivity. We know how the world has changed since COVID. Everybody can now stay anywhere they are and work. So you can connect from anywhere, have your meetings like we're having now. We're all in different places across the world, but we're having this meeting. So we have the skill of knowing what to do with Google Meet, for example, or with the Zoom, or with our whatever we're using to do the meeting. So that's a tech skill. No matter how small it sounds, it's a skill. Funny enough, some people don't know how to use Google Meet, for example. Some people don't know how to use Zoom. So you that is here, you have that skill. So you're using it to connect. So that's what we mean by connectivity. So are you seeing why you need these skills now? For those of you that don't have a certain skill, I believe you should start seeing why you need some of these skills. We're going to talk about some of them shortly. I know the skills that you're going to be using to achieve whatever your goal in technology is, or whatever you want to accomplish. So a little quote here: modern technology has become a total phenomenon for civilization, the defining force of a new social order in which efficiency is no longer an option, but a necessity imposed by all human activity. So you see where that question is coming from. We are not looking at tech as an option now. It's a necessity. It's something we cannot do without. So Jacques Ellul, I think it's French. He's the one that wrote that quote there. So it's just for you to think about it, to see that this technology we are talking about, this tech, this IT, is now a necessity. It's not just an option anymore. So I'll proceed. Okay, so straight into the meat. We are going into the meat now. The meat of this meeting. The meat of this meeting. Okay, that sounds cool. All right. So opportunities in tech. Top IT domains in tech in 2025. You know, I always follow these trends because I know that, like I said earlier, tech keeps evolving, things keep changing, in technology. But there are areas that have remained on the top or on top over the years when it comes to technology and tech skills, IT skills. So this list you're seeing here is not in any particular order, but I would like us to really look at them, know what they are, and then you now think about which of these areas you think fits into what you want to accomplish. So programming and web development, that's and they call it on demand or in demand skill, highly in demand, and it's been in demand for years. The reason is because literally everything you do with technology has been programmed by somebody. Literally everything you use, somebody programmed it. Even the hardware you use, someone programmed the microcontrollers that are inside the hardware that make the hardware drive the softwares. So that's one major area in IT today that is as an opportunity that has always been there as one of the top opportunities. Then you have artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I don't need to say much about this because it has become the buzz of the day. Everybody is now talking of AI, 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 AI. And AI is taking over the world. Everything we're doing today, one way or the other, AI is coming in. Even in our government processes, a lot of them are moving into AI. And that AI they're moving into, somebody is supposed to administer it. Somebody is supposed to develop some of those AI tools. Somebody is supposed to manage those AI tools. Somebody is supposed to, basically oversee those things that some of these organizations use. And that is why the skill is also in top demand. If you go outside the country, you realize that AI is one of the almost highly paid like the AI skill. If you have it, maybe artificial intelligence or in the machine learning aspect, people in that area are well paid, highly paid, because there's a lot of solutions that they are building and they're using AI to build those solutions. So it's something that anybody that takes their time to learn those areas will really do very well. Then cybersecurity. We have two cybersecurity guys here already. So they'll agree with me that it's an area that is also in high demand. It's an area that the reason why cybersecurity is on very high demand is because of technology as a whole. Technology has come with the good sides, but some people have now opened up the negatives or the bad sides of technology by trying to disrupt services that are already running, trying to disrupt, processes by discovering some loopholes, some ways they can, enter into a network, for example, and then cause some problem. So because technology is integrated into everything we do in the world today, the people running those systems cannot afford for those systems to fail. That is why cybersecurity is a key area. It's just like not having policemen in a community or in a city. Imagine if you come into a city now, maybe wherever you are in Nigeria, outside, there is no form of security. There is no security infrastructure. There is no security structure anywhere. What do you think that place is going to be? It's going to be a place of chaos because the bad guys are just going to be having a wonderful day. So that is why cybersecurity is very important, because cybersecurity is like the police of our digital world. That is what cybersecurity is, and you can never do without having security. So the same applies to the digital world. You need to secure your data. You need to secure your infrastructure. So that's where cybersecurity comes in, and it's not going away anytime soon. Rather, it keeps evolving and it keeps getting better. Then cloud computing is another area that is in high demand. Why is cloud computing in high demand? I'll tell you. Most of the things we do today are all cloud-based. How do I mean cloud-based? The WhatsApp we use to chat, the system that is running the app we use is stored somewhere in some computer out there on the internet. The only way that server where WhatsApp is stored, like the back-end side is stored, the only way you can get to your phone is using the internet. And the internet is not a storage. The internet is just a medium where data passes through. Data is being shared. So cloud computing makes it possible because with the advent of cloud computing, you don't need to have things stored physically anymore inside your devices. You can just have whatever you want to use, call it up anytime, and it just starts working. It's not by magic. That information you called up was actually stored somewhere on the internet. And what makes that possible is cloud computing. That is why the cloud computing market keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger, because the world is generating so much data around the world, so much information, so much data is being generated. And if everybody starts to store that data in their devices, I don't know if it can work. So that is why cloud computing is an area that is on the top when it comes to the domains or the skills that is in high demand today, because we have three top cloud providers in the world today. There are others, but the three of them, we have Amazon AWS, we have Microsoft Azure, and we have Google Cloud, which is actually what we're using now. We're using Google Meet, and our meeting is running off the Google Cloud. We're using one of their services, which is running of their cloud system. So that will tell you. Okay, Nana ask a question. What is the difference between AI and machine learning? I'll answer that question, Nana. Just hang on. So that is for cloud computing. I want to take time and explain some of this to you guys because I know a lot of people are actually a bit confused, especially those thinking of getting into tech. And I wish more people were here because I get some of those questions a lot. And I wanted to use this session to clarify some of these things so that you can actually understand them. So the next one is big data. And sorry, this should be data analytics. Sorry, should be data analytics, not dollar analytics. Let me correct it. Let me correct it. Data analytics. All right, it's corrected. Okay, so now big data and data analytics. Remember, we said that a lot of data is being generated across the world. Everywhere you go, there's data generated in offices, on the internet, on your Instagram, on your X, all the social media we use, they're all data. Every day we keep generating data. That status we post is data. Those pictures we upload, they're all data. They're all data. Now, some people may need to use that data, but the data may not be in the form that they can use it for what they want to use it. Maybe people that are doing research, for example, they may need to get data about, certain trends on social media, on trends by IT or computer users, anything, they may need to do a research on that. But the data available may not be organized in a way that it can make sense to them. So that is what big data and data analytics tries to do. Data analytics tries to analyze data, bring it together, analyze it, and make some sense out of it. So that is what big data and data analytics try to accomplish. So maybe in the next one or two slides, we are going to look at some of the skills that you need to have, which you know that you have them, but you don't really know that you already have them. But I'm going to tell you that you have them, and I'm going to show you how. So the next one is UI and UX. So we have a UI UX guy here, so a guy that says he's into UX. That is let me check. That should be Gabriel or Gotu. Yes, Gotu says he's into UI UX. So he can understand what I'm trying to explain now. UI UX is just about giving someone using a technology system a pleasant experience while using it, making things relatable and making the process of using that device smooth, easier, and easy to flow for the user side. So that is basically what UI UX is. Someone has to make those systems flow easily, user friendly, and in a way that the person or whoever using the system can just jump on it and use it and do whatever they want to do. So that is what UI UX is all about. So you can also agree with me that if there is no UI UX in the ecosystem of IT, most of these apps we're using, we may not even be able to do much out of it because someone has to think about the app, think about the flow of what the app wants to accomplish, and then put everything together so that users can really have a good experience while they're using it. So it has a bit of creativity, not just a bit, a lot of creativity is also involved for you to be a product designer or you're into UI UX. So the last one I have there, I just decided to add that audiovisual editing and design. So this is more like you're into the creative side, maybe audio, video, designs, and all that. So that's also a tech skill that is also in high demand, because you always need to design something. There's always need for you to create something, one thing or the other. So let me not stay too much on this. So it doesn't all have to be technical, because if you're here and maybe you're not already technical, I don't know if Hope is still here. It doesn't always have to be technical. There are also other skills you already have that can help you get into tech or be better in tech. So, what are some of these skills? We're going to look at them. And these skills are often called your transferable skills or your soft skills. So, we're going to look at them next. So, organizational skills. These are not tech skills. That's why I say I'm going to show you some things you may already have, but you don't know you have them. So, by the time you finish this session, you'll see that I actually have some skills that I can leverage on to get into tech. Organizational skills, time management, attention to detail, analytical thinking, prioritization. All these have to do with being organized, knowing how to organize stuff. Now, if you are good at time management, you can definitely know how to be an IT project manager, because managing projects have to do with managing time. If you're good at attention to detail, if you know how to pay attention to details in anything you do, you already have a good skill to become a programmer. You already have a good skill to become a UI UX person, a graphics person, a creative IT kind of person. If you're an analytical thinker, you have a skill. That skill is not something that you go and read in a book. It's just something inside you. You already have the skill to become a programmer. You can be able to write code. You can be able to think about ideas. So that's a skill you have. Imagine when you have some of these skills, and then you now merge it with actual practical skills. That means you are going to do very well in that area you chose. Prioritization, it has a lot to do with time management as well. That's a skill that already makes you become a good project manager, a good developer, a good cyber security analyst. There are so many skills I can use some of these transferable skills. There are so many roles, I mean, you can use some of these transferable skills. Then decision-making skills. Are you a natural problem solver? Do you know how to solve problems? You just know how to approach problems and find a way to solve them. And if you can solve them very fast. If you have that skill, you're already on your way to become a cybersecurity professional. Because cybersecurity, things that occur in cybersecurity often have to do with time. So you need to know how to think fast, solve the problem before it gets better, before it gets worse. So if you're a problem solver and if you're a quick one at that, then you already have that soft skill or transferable skill to succeed in cybersecurity. I gave that as an example. It can also apply to all the other areas we talked about. You know, creativity, I talked about it for UI UX, for writing codes and all that. Critical thinker. Hope, if she's back, for the field she's into, she needs to be a critical thinker. She needs to know how to manipulate information, think about how information is being used in her data analytics side. So you need to just be, you won't just be the normal thinker. You need to know how to think critically, because you're dealing with a lot of figures. You're dealing with, I'm sure, functions and formulas and all that stuff, your Python and all that. You need to be a critical thinker. Are you self-motivated as a person? You always like to get involved and and do stuff. You can find yourself in networking, computer networking. That's an area. You can also find yourself in IT sales if you're from a sales background. So you can do that. Then team working skills, relationship building. There's an area of IT called IT sales or pre-sales. Some of you may have seen a role called pre-sales. So pre-sales are people who sort of prepare solutions for the client. The client comes to a company to buy the solution. You sit down with this client, tell them the client exactly what the solution does, give them a rundown of what it does and how it can help them. These are pre-sales there, but you need to have a sales mindset as you're doing that. So team working skills. Do you know how to build relationships? Is it natural to you? Then you're already on your way to becoming a project manager, to becoming an IT sales person, maybe even an IT sales engineer. You're on your way to becoming, there's one that came to my mind now. I've forgotten. But you just know how to relate with people. You're also on your way to becoming an IT trainer. You can be a cybersecurity awareness training consultant. You can be, for example, which product can I use now? Which big tech product? Maybe you can be a trainer for some of these Microsoft solutions or any of these big companies. So that is a skill. You can build relationships. You can listen to people, hear what they have to say, and then make informed suggestions to them. So those are skills that you already have, which you don't know that they can help you in IT. Collaborative skills. You know how to be in a team and collaborate and get results? You already have a skill that helps you to work as a developer, can help you to work as a network engineer, can help you to work literally every area. Because most areas in tech, most people don't work alone. You have to work with other people. So you need to know how to collaborate, how to share ideas, how to get the best out of your team members. So that's a skill that is important. Communication, obviously, you need to know how to communicate. A lot of people feel that if you're a developer, you don't have to be talking to people. No, that's wrong. If you're a developer, if you really want to grow as a developer, you need to build on your communication skills, because someday your boss or whoever that you're working for can tell you, okay, come and tell me what this thing you're developing is all about. And if you can't communicate, you will just be using the high level language and the person will not understand what you're saying. So that is why it's necessary for you to know how to communicate. And if you have that skill and you know how to communicate very well, you already have a skill that will take you into a lot of roles. So these are some of the soft skills that I decided to outline for us today so that you can have an idea of what this is all about. So now, the most in-demand skills in IT and what you need to learn them. Okay, so let's move. Cybersecurity. This list is not in any particular order, but I just put it this way for the sake of putting it so that we can see it. As you can see, I broke them down to the integral components or integral areas under each of those top domains I mentioned earlier. So cybersecurity. There's an area in cybersecurity called information security, where you're focusing on information. Information here includes data and all that. You're working on, using tools available and solutions to protect that information from manipulation, destruction, or any form of illegal access. That is information security. These days, Information security is also referred to as cyber security. Most people refer to it as cyber security. Now, I remember my master's was also in information security. But lately, I realized that the school no longer calls it information security. They call it cyber security. That's what they call it now. So cyber security is more like the general name that they use to refer to anything that has to do with security. But I'm here to tell you that cyber security has different areas that are under it if you're interested in cyber security. So there's also governance, risk, and compliance. So these are the policy guys. These are the people who say how things can be done or how things should be done as it has to do with security of information. So if you're somebody who knows how to, using that your organizational skill and your critical thinking skill or maybe your analytical skill, you can be able to sit down and say, okay, this organization, we don't want our employees to do this or do that because of security reasons. If you can sit down and draft something using some of those your skills, then you fit into this area: governance, risk, and compliance. And these guys in this area, they are well paid, very well paid. So we also have penetration testing, or what everybody now refers to as ethical hacking. Is part of ethical hacking. So ethical hacking, let me just call it penetration testing. Penetration testing is all about making sure that systems, both hardware and software systems, are secured enough to prevent any unauthorized access. So penetration testers, their job is to keep testing out the system to ensure that the security is strong enough for the latest kind of threats that are obtainable or that are available in the current world we're in. The threats I mean are like cyber-related threats. Those are the threats I mean. So compliance, well, I've already talked about governance, risk, and compliance. Then move to the development side. So we talked about web development, programming, and all that. So programming and machine learning. For me, I would bring both of them. I'll put both of them in one category because machine learning is about programming machines. So what you're doing in machine learning is you're trying to program machines. Sorry, not machines. Let me not confuse us. Machine learning, you're trying to program processes in a way that it can drive systems, but in an automated way. That is what machine learning is all about. So, Nana asked a question. Nana, what was your question again? Let me see your question so that I can answer it as well immediately.
I asked the difference between AI and machine learning.
Okay. Okay, what is the difference between AI and machine learning? All right. I'm going to answer you. I'm going to answer you. All right. So I'll start with machine learning. So machine learning basically helps us to configure software applications with features that can help those software applications to become more automated, more intuitive. Intuitive means it can actually learn about the user, or whatever you're doing is actually learning from you, learning what you're doing, so that it can basically automate what you're doing without your input. So that's what machine learning is all about. So that's why the name machine learning, because it just sits there, you deploy it there to learn a process, learn it so that it can do it on its own automatically. That's what machine learning is. So that's why if you look at most of this job, maybe where you see job, machine learning is most times it's usually related to robotics, because robots are basically softwares that were trained to do what humans do. That's what robots are. So that's where machine learning actually comes in. Machine learning helps to make those things possible. So in terms of AI is actually where you're, you know, it's also AI also helps you to do things better. But now AI is more like what you put into the system. It processes it based on the instructions you give to it, and then based on those instructions, it uses its own model, what the models that actually drive the AI system. Whatever the model, or however the model has been created, maybe the model was created to be able to process information in a particular way and then give you a response based on what you asked. Then that's what AI does. AI takes what you put into it and then works on that instruction or whatever, and then gives you a response that it feels that you're expecting to have. So that's what AI. So if you look at AI and machine learning, both of them are meant to make things easier. But machine learning is more like very much more intuitive. It learns what you do, it sits in the system, learns what you do, and then makes it better, make the process and the systems better. I don't know if that answers the question, Nana. Both of them are all for automation. They are all to make things better, but they approach it in different ways. Right. So artificial intelligence, yeah, I just talked about that. Okay, sorry, I have not talked about web development. We've talked about web development. Then quality assurance. All these areas that you're looking at, they're all job areas. They're all roles that you can have in a company. If you doubt me, go to LinkedIn, go to any of these job sites. You'll see them. These are all job roles. That's why I'm talking about it, so that you can see where you may likely fit into, and then build yourself up so that you can blend into those areas. So quality assurance is an area. So people that make sure that systems or processes are actually working the way they should work. So that's what quality assurance people do. User experience, I've already talked about that before. I talked about artificial intelligence. Under infrastructure, artificial intelligence is there. Then technical support is one of the easiest ways that people can get into tech. Technical support. What do you do as a technical support person? What you do is just to help people solve problems, or help solve people's problems. Like when somebody is using a system, it stops working, or when a device is not working as it should, you come in with the knowledge you have, fix whatever issue that it's having, and then the software starts to work or the system starts to work. So for this, you still need to have learned additional skills apart from problem solving skills that help you to troubleshoot the issue. You need to actually know how those systems work. But I'm not going to go into the various systems that you need to know here. But I just want you to understand that technical support involves that problem solving mindset and ability to troubleshoot. Try this, try this, try this, try this. Eventually, you solve the problem. So that's for technical support. So technical support relates to networking, in a lot of ways. Funny enough, years ago, I broke in through technical support. That's how I broke into IT. So it's one of the quicker ways or easiest ways to get into IT. As you're in technical support, one good thing technical support does for you, as you're trying to solve troubleshoot problems, you start to know things you need to learn about. You start to find out areas you need to brush up yourself, because most of the things you try may not be working. So you need to know, okay, this place I tried it didn't work. I need to go and learn about it. So before you know it, if you're in that kind of role as a technical support engineer, analyst, or whatever it is, you start identifying skills you need to now go back and learn. So that's a good thing that comes out of technical support. I've also talked about cloud computing. I don't think I need to say much about it. But the only thing I have to say in cloud computing is, let me just define cloud computing. Cloud computing is, in cloud computing, is as if you're working with your computer physically. So you have your hard drive, you have your RAM, you have your processor, all those things. They are all inside your laptop physically. But in cloud computing, your hard drive, your RAM, your processor, they are not physical. You're not able to touch them. They're all virtual. So that's the difference between the physical computing and your cloud computing. So in cloud computing, you need to learn about how those virtual devices work, what are their specifications, but you still need to have that knowledge of the internet, knowledge of networking, knowledge of things that link devices together. So those are the things you need to have. Those are the skills you need to have before going into cloud computing. Even as you're learning, you can also get into cloud computing without knowing those things. Then in the process of learning cloud computing, you can actually learn about networking and learn about how computers work as well. People do that. So database administration. So what do we actually do in database administration? It's more about just administering data, making sure that the processes of a data has to follow, or the processes that has to be followed to access data are in place. All the parameters that is needed to access data in any form is in place and is well managed and is secured. So that's database administration. So database is just a file inside a system, but it's that file that carries the entire data that drives either a system, either a website, either a server, or whatever it is. So somebody has to know how to manage that file, make sure that everything that file is supposed to deliver to the users, to the server, to the whoever that needs to have access to it, that database provides that access to them. So you need to, it's a skill you need to learn. So if you have critical thinking skills, attention to detail skills, analytical skills, and even problem solving skills, you can fit well into database administration. So the same goes for data analytics. I've talked about data analytics before, what it's all about. Then you have data visualization. So some of these data visualization can be related to big data. So data visualization is you being able to present data to people who may not understand the data. So you're looking for ways to present that data to people. You're able to visualize it in a way that is relatable to the layman. So that's data visualization. And it's actually an area that is in high demand these days because, like I said, there's a lot of data. A lot of people are looking at how they can make sense of the data that is all over the place. So data visualization is a skill that you need to have. There's an application called Tableau. You can go and check out Tableau. Tableau is a data visualization tool. It's also used for business intelligence. If you've heard of business intelligence before, business intelligence is all about data visualization. So you're using data to make informed decisions in a business on which direction they should go. Where are things not doing so well? How can they improve it? So that's what data visualization is all about. And then that's basically it for these 4 areas. There are other areas. I didn't put things like digital marketing and all that. Those are skills which are not purely IT skills, but they use IT equipment or IT solutions for you to do them. But I didn't put any of those there. So you can, if you're interested in that, you can also go and do some research. So what's in it for you? All these things I've talked about, what's in it for you? Why would you even want to stress yourself learning data analytics, learning cloud computing, learning cybersecurity, learning all these things I mentioned. I'll show you. At the end of the day, right? I need you guys to answer me this question. Why are we trying to succeed in IT? Why are we trying to learn skills? Can anybody give me just one reason? Let me know whether all of us are thinking the same way. Why are we trying to learn skills? Why are we trying to improve ourselves? What's the general reason? What's the ultimate reason? Can anybody give us an answer? The ultimate reason why we're improving ourselves, to do better at work, to get better jobs. What's the ultimate reason? I want to know whether
Okay.
I have Nigerians here.
Okay. Can I go ahead?
Yes, Hope. Go ahead.
Yeah, so for me, the reason I think why we need to learn all those skills is because the world is constantly changing, and it's advisable that everyone just need to upskill to be at the top of your game so that you should not be left behind. So the more you constantly develop and learn the skill, the more you are conversant and you're up to date with what is trending in the world. So I just think because the world is evolving, so you just have to
Yeah.
upskill, be conversant. So that's it.
Wow, that's powerful. That's an awesome response. That's an awesome response. Okay, so looking at the chat, Victor says money, oh, that money is the reason. Nana concurs as well. He says, indeed, money. At the end of the day, we want to have a better life. We want to live well, but money is not the all and all in it, but the ultimate goal is to be rewarded for the work you put in, to be rewarded for the efforts you put in to even learn those skills, to even put yourself ahead of the trend in the world, how fast things are going. So as you're learning those skills, you're believing somewhere in your heart that someday somebody will value my skill enough to be able to pay me what I should be paid based on the skills I have. So money, I agree with the guys that said money. Money is actually an ultimate goal, but Hope's reason is actually the ideal. Hope's response is actually the ideal reason. You want to always improve yourself so that you can become more valuable. And as you're more valuable, you'll be paid better, and everybody will be happy. So all of you are actually right in that regard. So let's look at something. I want us to look at this and then share your thoughts on it as well. Soon we'll be rounding up. So this is the salary job roles. A lot of these job roles are the ones I talked about. These are job roles. This is with Naira salaries. Okay, average. These are average salaries. It could be higher, but these are average salaries. I decided to put Naira conversion of these roles.
Your screen from my hand, but I don't just me. I can't see anything from my hand.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it shows you're presenting, but it's black. I can't see anything.
Okay. Is any other person having the same problem? Let me know where to troubleshoot from. The other guys, are you guys able to hear me? Are you guys able to see the presentation? Okay, go to says it's showing. Okay. Is it still that way, Hope? Is it still that way for you?
Yeah, let me try and log out and log in and see if it will work.
All right, do that. Because I think every other person is seeing it as well. All right, so I'll be on the screen for a while. Let's see if Hope comes back. So guys, you guys see what we're having on the screen, right? If you can see it, let us know. Is it attractive? Do you like what you see? If you like what you see, please let us know as well. Okay, they are giving thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. All right. So, do you guys feel these salaries are fantastic? Do you feel they are also fantastic for the different roles? If you feel they are fantastic, also give me a thumbs up, or if you don't feel so, thumbs down. I'll just
Sorry,
respond.
salary or monthly salary?
This is actually annual, per annum.
Okay.
This is per annum. So what do you guys think? Do you think it's awesome, per annum? I would like to know before I go to the next slide. Then I'll ask the same question in the next slide. Nobody wants to confirm? Hope, what do you think? Per annum.
I think it's cool. I mean, this salary is very, very cool for the conversion rate. Looking at the money it is in there, I mean, it's far way better than the 9 to 5. No matter the 9 to 5 you're doing in Nigeria, is not up to this amount to be paid in dollars. So this is very, very good.
Okay. Remember, it's per annum, not per month. Oh.
Yes, I know. It's also it's still very good per annum. I mean, for for salaries though, the highest I know so far that you can be paid in naira, depending on your position as an MD, 1.5 monthly. So
Okay.
I think it's almost similar though. That's for you to be in that level. So, but for
Mm.
this kind of role, it's not like you're in a managerial role yet, but this is just your not basic salary as just an IT person. So I think it's fair enough.
Okay. Okay. All right. So Hope feels it's fair enough. Victor says per annum for cybersecurity is low. That's what that's what Victor says. I don't know what the other guys, Nana and the other people. I don't know what they think, but I wouldn't I wouldn't say anything from my own side. Maybe I'll share the next slide. Then I also want you guys to now respond, especially Hope. I want to see what you say when I put up the next slide. Oh, sorry. Oh no, no. Ah, come on. I didn't. Wait. Please give me a second. The information that's supposed to show is not showing properly. Um, Let me see if I can get it. Okay, let me just quickly use if I start doing an online search now, it may not be so let me use Chat GPT. Let me use Chat GPT. Let me see. Let's see what it will tell us as salaries. So let me and I want salary. What I'm going to search for now is salary in dollars. Current, like as of 2024, what average salaries for these roles could be. So let me see. All right, hold on a second, please. Let me share that screen. Okay. Um, I just shared the window for my chat GPT. Can you guys see it? Please, can you all see the window? So if you can see it, have a look at the salaries again. This one is in dollars and it's per annum. What do you guys think compared to the Naira stuff we saw before? Do you guys think
Wow, this way so high.
do you guys think Naira is worth it?
No way. It's not what.
Exactly. I wanted us to see where we are in a country like ours currently, because years, maybe 2, 3 years ago, these salaries would have been making a lot of sense, But with the whole exchange rate, all that stuff, if you're earning in dollars, this is not like exact, but this is average of what you'll be earning. Like an artificial intelligence engineer, you'll be earning per annum between 100,000 to 160. And I agree with this because it's possible. It's possible to earn, from this stuff. Look at cybersecurity. Where is it? Cybersecurity analysts, you're earning 80,000 to 130 per annum. Data analysts, 60,000 to 90,000 per annum. So this is what tells you that, on a global level, like Godso just said, we should be earning more on a global level than what the circumstance is here. So this is what everybody should have at the back of their mind, to know that that skill they are learning may actually be valued a lot outside than in Nigeria. But you just have to start somewhere. If you cannot get a job outside, you can start with the ones within. And as you're in that job, as you're in that role, you keep improving yourself and keep applying for the ones outside. You could make it someday. So it says sources, salaries are based on industry, global job markets, including the US, Canada, and parts of Europe. Okay, so that's where it pulled some of it. So if you look at the third note, it says that skills such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and cybersecurity are in high demand, leading to their higher average salaries in these areas. So these three areas are in high demand. And if you're in that field, you also find out that these three are linked. These three areas, they have a very close relationship in terms of practicality. So if you ever venture to learn these three, have it as skills that you know, then I don't know, you're probably not supposed to be on planet Earth. You should be like in one other planet, taking over the planet. So what I'm trying to say is this is more realistic in per annum. This is more realistic. But like I said, you just have to start somewhere. So let me go back to, let's start rounding up our slide. So I hope this has been helpful so far for you guys have been here, because I was really hoping that it would be helpful for us, for you guys as well. Okay, let me share this one so that we'll just start rounding up. Don't have to go beyond a couple of minutes again. Okay, I've shared my screen back. So what is it that so what next? What next? What next? What next? What next for us? What next for you? It's time to upskill. It's time to learn something new. It's time to, know what you need to do. Right now, I believe this course or this session has helped you to actually start seeing, places that you need to improve, new things you need to learn, and how you can basically, give yourself the edge in the field of cyber security. So, sorry, in the field of IT, let me not be specific, in the field of IT. So, I want to share something finally with you guys before we close for the day. Mm. So just so that everybody can be involved and also be carried along, because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to also bring everybody together in a place where you can be free to, interact, share whatever it is. If you need support, and what it is that you're learning, you can always share your concerns or share what it is that you're faced with there. So I'm going to share a form with you guys, so that you can, just put in your details for us. It will help us to, you know, improve on what we are doing. One second, I'm just trying to. Okay, right. So this is time. This is the time I want to just share this so that you guys can fill in. Just trying to make sure that this. Okay, I'm dropping this on the chat. Just confirm that you can open this form. Just confirm that you can open it so I can be able to follow up with you and also get you in our group if you're not there already. Our group is just so that you can just be aware of what we're doing. Any information we want to share, you can always get them. So please, if you can open the form, please let me know. Let me be sure that it's opening properly. And kindly use your WhatsApp number, because we have a WhatsApp group that I want to put you guys into, if you don't mind. Yeah, sure. Okay. My YouTube page is okay.
I
So
was trying to register with the link, and it's showing me that the form is no longer accepting response.
oh, okay. Sorry. One second. I think it's Sorry about that. I think it's I need to reset. Okay, you can try it again. Please try it again. It should work now.
Okay.
Okay. So that's the title is transitioning to tech, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, please. So I think it's open now. I can just try it out.
Yeah, just go ahead and fill in. Um, fill in all the fields there are actually important for you to fill them. So I wanted to share my YouTube channel with you guys. So it's at the talk series. So that is my YouTube channel. And then on Facebook, it's also at Sec Watchers. At Sec Watcher. Sorry, let me separate them. So this one is Facebook. This is YouTube. Right. So those are my handles on Facebook and then on YouTube. I am not so well. Very soon, I'll get my Instagram handle running very well. And then you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I would like to connect with you guys on LinkedIn. Let me get my LinkedIn link. So it's time to upskill. Do you think you can learn by yourself, or do you think you need somebody to teach you? It's your choice. You know yourself better. You know how you prefer to learn and how you learn and how you learn well. You know, most people prefer to be taught. A lot of people prefer to be, taught what what they want to know. So at the end of the day, it still boils down to the individual, what they want to do. So I also want to mention that I and my team, we also offer trainings in some of these areas here: cyber security, data analytics, web development, cloud computing, UI UX. So some of these courses, actually all of them, or most of them, are virtual. Some of them are physical, but most of them are virtual. So even the physical, the trainings that are physical, we also do it simultaneously. We also run it virtual. So you don't have to be physically there to give us or to be part of the training. So like the ones we've done, we just rounded the last set of people who finished before Christmas. We had people from different parts of Nigeria, who registered. So while the guys physically are having their class, the virtual guys are also connected to the same class. So everybody's learning at the same time. So that's the idea behind it. So we run these trainings. If you look at the form I sent, you also see a place where you are asked whether you want to upskill with some of our training. So based on the response you give, we can follow up with you to know which areas that you're interested in. And then you can go ahead and discuss further. So that is that is what we have today. And this is the time where, if anybody has any question, we have roughly 5 more minutes left. If anybody has any question, I'll also look at the chat to see if I've missed out anybody's question. I'll pin this for you guys to see. Okay. All right, so does anybody have any question? The form. Okay. Anybody has any question?
Yeah, yeah. Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the. It's so insightful. The session was so insightful. Mine is not really like a question, but more of just how I feel from my experience in the field. For people that really want to venture into what we do. I don't know if you guys can hear me, please.
Yeah, I can hear you. I hope every other person can too.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so what I just wanted to share is kind of let me see if I can turn on my camera. Kind of the pricing. You know, when we're looking at the salary scale and all that, from my own experience, I feel people could easily be misled in terms of going for what pays most. So I think it boils down to the thing of passion, what you can do easily, what you can actually like when you're analyzing the skill sets, like when you find out that, let's say, you like solving problems, and so you could see areas where you can do very well. But looking at it and maybe like beginning to compare, maybe this one pays more, so let me go for this one. Some people can get stuck in the process, while others may not really be able to go through, because there are also some things like health hazards. There are people that their IQ may not be able to carry some certain area. And then I also know people that are actually taking up, even with the venture into the tech skill and the tech space, with just soft skills like maybe customer relationship managers, responding to calls, responding to customers and all that, and they are really making like a whole lot of money. They don't need to write code. They just have to be able to relate with customers and maybe like sell people's products. And they are yeah, I know. I wanted to ask the source, but when you shared the second sheet, I saw that okay, there's some source to that. There are some people that they are actually making a whole lot of money from different sources, especially in this era of remote work opportunities. People can work from different tech companies that their pay scale may not be recorded, or you may not actually. So if someone is working with a company in Canada and maybe different time zones, Nigerians are very rugged, especially Africans to be specific. Some can work in different time zones and still be able to like make it. They can make up to like triple of what is being recorded out there. But most of the skills may not really be so technical. So what I just want to say in essence is that if you find yourself being drawn to a particular skill set, don't pour out all your interest because you feel this pays the most. This is the payment is so juicy, because you may get stuck in the process and could be frustrating. So just go for what you are so comfortable with, and before you know it, now money will start coming from left, right corner and all that. So you'll be surprised at it. I think that's just what I wanted to add. Thank you so much, sir.
Awesome, fantastic. And that's a very important observation that you just made. At the end of the day, if you notice, why I decided to look at your soft skills, your transferable skills first, is so that you can know the things that you're actually able to do, so that you don't get yourself into areas that you cannot be able to handle. Like he said, some people's head may not be able to carry some things. If you're going into coding, for example, can be very frustrating. I have to be honest with you. If you're not someone who has patience and who's very persistent and resilient, like you don't, you just, you're not somebody who's able to just calm down even when things are falling apart. If you don't have that mindset, that temperament to remain calm and just keep looking for solutions, you don't need to go into coding, because majority of the time the things you're doing may not be working, but eventually it will work. So those are the skills, those soft skills I talked about. What's your temperament like? Are you somebody who just knows how to follow up problems, try to look at solutions in a methodical manner? Those are the things. But if you're not that kind of person, you just become frustrated, and then you just start telling yourself that this thing is not working, blah blah blah. Maybe you went into it because of the pay that was attached to it. If you went into it because of the pay and now you're becoming frustrated, at the end of the day, you might lose the job and you won't be getting that pay again. So it's good to know what you're able to handle. There are easier jobs. Like, if you remember what I said technical support is one of the easy ways to get into tech. Technical support doesn't have to be that you're supporting people that are writing code. Technical support could just be that you're working in a place where you can even be doing it remotely from Nigeria. You're supporting people, an organization recruits you, you're supporting their clients who are in different parts of the world. What you're just doing for them is trying to resolve their computer problems. Their browser is not browsing, all that kind of stuff. Because all those people in Western world, all those companies, they know that labor is cheaper down here. So if you're able to get people who can do the stuff cheaper, they'll be saving money, and then you're still paid at the end of the day. So that is one of the important things, and I'm happy Godswill pointed that out. It's very, very important that Godswill pointed that out, and I like that observation, and I hope you guys understood what he was also trying to say as well. So look for areas that you can handle, areas that are within your transferable skills, the abilities you have, and then areas that even when you start learning the technical part, you can still be able to cope with it. A lot of people have gone into learning coding. At the end of the day, they spend like 6 months always reading, but at the end, they realize that this is not for them. They just have to start looking for something else. Meanwhile, they've lost time, they've wasted time. So that's why being informed is very important. And I hope this session has been able to give you some information so that you don't go into something that you just do halfway and then you jump out. And that's also why I want to have you guys in our group so that we can always keep talking about this stuff, and make sure everybody's well guided as they're on this journey. So is there any other question? Let's start rounding up. It doesn't seem like so. I'm assuming everybody's okay with what we heard today. If you please, I pinned the form in our chat here, so you can just make sure you click on the form and fill the form so that everybody will. I'll get your information and I'll add you guys very soon. So we have training coming up, cybersecurity training coming up soon. If you're interested in cybersecurity, these are some of the things that we're going to be covering there. And this training will give you access to a globally certified, a global certification. So if you enroll for this training, at the end of the training, you might be one of those that will get the global certification. Which, when I say global, I mean global, everywhere in the world. This is not a local certification. So if you enroll for our cybersecurity training course, you get this global certification free of charge. So if you're interested, please just relate with me. Then I can also drop my WhatsApp number before we end this call. So you guys can reach me on I think some of my students already have my number. Victor and who is the other person? Sunday. If it's the Sunday I know, then you should have my number as well. But this is